that indestructible consciousness is all pervasive. And in the other sloka also Bhagavan said, Kshetrajnam chavimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu. In all the kshetras, I am Kshetrajna. That means, here the reference is not to the Ahankara Tattvam. Here the reference is not to the knower, because knower has got a form. A knower is a form of the ego. It has got a nama, a form, but the illumining principle of the knower, the consciousness which illumines the knower, the knowledge as such which illumines the knower, otherwise you call the awareness which illumines the knower, that awareness or consciousness is very much there in each and every so-called objects. Because all the objects are nothing but forms within a form. It is nothing but forms and names. Any object, if you take and analyze, it is nothing but names and forms. So in and through all the forms, what is there? You are there. I am there in and through all the forms. How can you say that? I am there in and through all the forms. So there, what is the meaning which you give to the word I? I as self-evident consciousness. I as self-evident consciousness is very much there in every form. If it is very much there in every form, it is present as easiness. The easiness of every form and is indestructible. In fact, every form, when you relate to, in this empirical order of reality, though you have a form outside, actually that form, that easiness, in that easiness, every form is superimposed. Every form is superimposed upon that easiness. Pataha, mataha, khataha, ityadi, whatever you say, you cannot, that easiness of an object cannot be destructible, it is indestructible. Like our classical example of pot. You can destroy the form, but the easiness of that form would always be there. You can destroy form. Once you destroy form, the destroyed another form would you give a name to it. Again, you can change it. Again, you can change it. Forms keep on changing. But the easiness which is very much there in the form, which cannot be picked up by your senses as an object. The easiness cannot be picked up by your senses as an object. It is something which you have to understand. Therefore, wherever there is Sagunatvam, there is Nirgunatattvam. You did not look for Nirguna Brahma elsewhere. Wherever there is a form, easiness is there. Nirgunatattvam, form is there very much. Therefore, that easiness upon which every form is superimposed. The easiness is something which doesn't come and go. That easiness in every form and the self-evident consciousness, it is one prajnana ghanam. It is one prajnana ghanam, it is one consciousness. Therefore, if it is one consciousness, in that consciousness, my body is superimposed. In that consciousness, my mind is superimposed. In that consciousness, my senses are superimposed. Therefore, that consciousness is self-evident, but it has got body-mind-sense complex as an adjunct. When it has got body-mind-sense complex as an adjunct, then the ego is born and ego started appropriating what? Appropriating the limitations of the body-mind-sense complex, and it started seeing the world as separate from itself. Therefore, the jiva is born, the individuality is born, and it started seeing multiple objects outside as well. It started taking itself as something entirely separate from the world. So the sense of duality is born because of this adhyasa. Atma and Atma, avivekena janitam eva adhyasam. Adhyasa means just looking at your body, mind-sense complex, you take that this is as good as an object, therefore it limits other objects. It is also part of the world. Therefore the sense of duality is born the moment that self-evident aham, which has got an adjunct, called this body-mind-sense complex, then there is a Other than the functional identification, there is a psychological identification. That psychological identification, born sense of limitation. Once you take yourself as this body, mind, sense complex, then samsara begins, becoming begins. That is called a jivatvam. From the jivatvam, the whole becoming begins. And the world and you, the sense of duality is created. And you cannot suffer the sense of duality. You cannot stand the sense of duality because it is not your nature. Oneness is your nature. You cannot stand the sense of duality. Therefore, all the efforts which you take in the form of actions is to resolve the sense of duality. What all the actions which you do, it is for the purpose of resolving the sense of duality. But in every experience, whenever there is happiness, what is happening is not that you are not becoming one with the world. What is happening inside you is the sense of duality which you created inside. Whenever there is a resolution of the sense of duality, there happiness is. Therefore, when there is a desire, it is born of sense of duality. And when the desire is fulfilled, what is fulfilled? Nothing. There is no change outside. The change has happened inside. What? The desire in you has resolved. The moment the desire in you has resolved, the sense of duality has resolved, then you impute that this happiness I got from that object. It is not that the happiness you got from that object, it is your sense of duality. By that sense of ownership, the sense of duality has gone, then you are back to your normal self. This is what is happening. But wrongly we impute that this happiness is I got by gaining that object. The gaining, where is the functional gaining? There can be a legal function. Legally you can gain own of something. You won't become one with that. But the sense of minus, when it happens, what goes away? The sense of duality goes away when there is a sense of minus. In that, even the sense of minus, then you are happy with yourself because the sense of duality has gone. The desire has been resolved. Then, whenever there is no sense of duality, there is happiness. That happiness is your own nature. But we invariably commit the mistake. We refuse to grow. We refuse to grow in the sense that we refuse to be awakened to this reality. We don't question. And we refuse to be awakened to this reality. Because whenever with the sense of limitation, when you relate with the world, naturally there are objects by which you easily get identified, because the sense of limitation you cannot suffer from. From that sense of limitation, there are desires. Therefore, each and every moment, when you are happy with yourself, what you gain, the desire which has been there, it has been resolved. Therefore, out of sense of duality, which is born of ignorance, and whenever there is sense of resolution of sense of duality, then you are happy with yourself. Therefore, happiness is not sensation. It is a state wherein you relate with the world without any resistance or without any demand. Whenever and all in that state of happiness, what is happening? All your judgments about yourself get suspended for one thing. Neither there is a resistance you got with the world, with any object, nor you have a demand. That is what you call happiness is. Therefore, happiness is always being in touch with the oneness, which is already there between you and the world. Otherwise, suppose the happiness which you are imputing the object, then suppose, let us take, if there is happiness, if there is happiness in an object, it should supply the same amount of quantum of happiness to you at all time and all places. And it should also supply the same amount of happiness to one and all. Because it is there as a property. Because fire is hot. And whoever comes and touches the fire, the person is going to get burnt.